Hello again, YouTube. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Measures, No Simping, All Subjects channel. So I want to talk about the emotions of women, black women included, but it's not just them. Believe me when I tell you, it's not just them. I mean, I've seen Chinese women trying to beat up their husbands. I've seen every group, showing what I'm about to talk about. The emotions of a woman. See, most of us, if we look back, the one that we liked, whether it was because of their looks, because of this, because of that, we generally are more lenient towards them. Because you'll take certain things off the one that you like, / in some cases that fools you the most, more than you would take it off of the ones that you might like, but you might not like them as much as the one you take all the mess off. I'm guilty of this. You guilty of this. Almost every man is guilty of this. The one you like could be talking to dudes right in front of you. You ain't gonna break up with her. The one you barely like and this, that, she do the same thing, you done with her. And in some cases, they could not do anything and you done with her. You would think of something. Well, I think we should break up because X, Y, Z. We have to learn, and I think that's what this space is helping teach people. Anybody that's saying the manosphere is not helping anybody, that's just not true. It's a lot of videos that helped you. It's a lot of videos that help me. It's a lot of videos that help everybody. Sometimes the motive is right. Sometimes it's not. It does not matter. But the emotions of a woman are like a roller coaster, and the most dangerous thing about it is they can't see when they're wrong. Like if they think they better than you, if they think they smarter than you, then every time you correct them as a man, it's going to become an argument. And this is one of the main reasons for the high divorce rate. Because these women think they're there in your life to get gifts and to tell you what to do. I call it that fairy tale stuff. That's what I call it. So we have to learn this, and y'all young dudes, it's best that you learn this early in your life. That you put what you need for yourself before any of these women, and you make them adjust to you. Now, people think that's bad advice. How is it bad advice? Y'all just be feeling sorry for them. That's actually good advice, because the one you like, you gonna make sacrifices that down the line she ain't gonna remember anyway. All she gonna look at is your failures. That's just how they do. So we have to learn to treat them all the same, to have a standard and don't go over the line. Don't cross the line in your standard. So if you cross the line over your standard, then what happens is you're gonna get dominated. It's like, I was just reading an article yesterday how it says that married men with kids have lower levels of testosterone. And I was thinking like, man, that shouldn't even happen. But it happens because guys don't be wanting to hurt these women's feelings. Hurt their feelings, especially if they get out of line with you. Their feelings should get hurt. And I ain't talking about cheating. I'm talking about putting them in their place. Any woman that won't get in line when you try to put her in line, that's one that you wasting time with that you shouldn't even have. Because there's too many out here that'll get with your program for you to be with one that won't. And kids or no kids, y'all got to understand something. She's not supposed to get an advantage because of kids. And some of y'all gonna get in a position where it's gonna end up having to be, oh well moment. Like, she's not gonna let you have your kids. She's gonna dangle your kids. And if you keep her, like doomed relationships say, and like Eddie Griffin say, it was hilarious, y'all gotta see the clip, they'll slowly kill you. You'll be dead trying to keep some of these women around that's not with your program. Because the dudes that know that it's not right to beat on women, that it's not right to keep arguing with women, that they always try to hold stuff in. You in for a slow roll. Like, these is the guys with the grayest heads that you see. Like, sometimes it's wisdom, sometimes it's stress. I'm telling you, man, it take a lot. Y'all dudes think y'all want a wife and kids. It takes a lot to stay in a marriage. With the majority, if I put a percentage on it, I would say like 97%. You're going to be giving and not taking, giving and not receiving, with most of them. And when you put your foot down, it's going to go way worse and way more to the left than it has to go. And y'all be listening to these guys that ain't never been married like that, or if they wasn't married that long. You gotta listen, you gotta find the ones that dealt with it extensively and to tell you the truth about it. So, let's say you, like me, let's say you was a thug. They gonna spend their whole time trying to change you. But then when you start having your Will Smith moments, because you will. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't. Listen, there are guys that have to fight. They get in situations where they don't got no choice. And sometimes, unfortunately, it be at work. I know one of my friends was telling me about a situation he had where, the dude just wasn't going to stop. And it's like, when you know somebody, how you know their demeanor, it's easier to believe them when they present information. See, I know his demeanor. He's smooth dude. He didn't really have that many fights. He didn't need to, because he had all of us. It wasn't going down like that. But he had to put the hands on this dude. He get home. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. That's one of the main phrases you gonna hear in marriage with most of these women. You shouldn't have did that. Now, but check this out though. They not gonna say what you should have did that they tell you not to do. They not gonna say that. And this is what I be teaching my sons. I be teaching my sons, man, go for yours, this, that. Because if you put a woman in front of your goals and dreams, when y'all get old and you be in regret, I should have did this, I should have did that, all she gonna do is be in her rocking chair or whatever, just rock quiet. She done successfully played it safe and contributed, because you can't blame her, because you should have been a man and did your thing, to you having a lesser lifestyle and a lesser economic profile and so on and so forth. So you got to learn how to deal with the emotions, man. You yourself have to have the wisdom and the backbone to know when they trying to play it safe and you don't need to play it safe. You gonna have failures in life. You can't avoid all of them. People be one reason why a lot of people is check to check, for instance, is because they try to avoid all the pitfalls of failure. But while you avoiding failure, you don't realize that you also avoiding success. I'm gonna say that again. While you avoiding failure and trying to avoid failure, you don't realize that you also avoiding success. So here's what happens, because I can speak from experience. You have a business idea. You don't push it for whatever reason. Maybe sometimes, I just don't think that'll work. And then you look up 20 years from now and you still not financially stable. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Jobs are not intended to make you financially stable. The people that are financially stable from their jobs are either extremely cheap, they have 2 jobs, they have 2 incomes, maybe his and hers. But your job, I had to explain to somebody. It seems like my job was more than it was because I was doing these other things on the side. But had I just did that, I got paid every 2 weeks. And y'all wonder why I'm looking in the camera, because it's a red light. But I got paid every 2 weeks. So imagine trying to pay all those bills I had and have with just that. My rent has always been, it's went up, but my rent has always been over $1,000, like in terms of where I'm living at now. You know, and that's why I said they done made it now where people be discouraged at home ownership. But for some people in some cities, it actually will be cheaper to own a house than it is to rent nowadays. So when you dealing with these women, man, you got to put yourself first in front of your kids and the woman. Make sacrifices, but always have yourself number one in the house in the long run. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a man naturally that cares for his family is going to make sacrifices anyway. But when you start putting them in front of you, you're going to throw the balance of things off. What do I mean by that? Let's say you start a business, you got to have long hours. It's going to benefit them in the long run. See, the long run is usually more important. People say, well, you gonna die one day. I'm gonna die one day if I don't take this attitude. We all are. So you want to do things that benefit your kids in the long run. If you working a job right now and your job you still struggling, you not able to save money, but yet you getting a steady paycheck, and she telling you, you got a job though, your job, you know, blah, 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 you know how they is. What you have to do is make your decision. When am I gonna quit that job that's not giving me what I need? Now, a little patience will make it easier for you. Like if you just get everything in place first, to see me, that's the mistake that I was making. Sometimes I just wasn't getting everything in place first. But it also depends on what you're trying to do. Because if what you're trying to do is going to give, nowadays, I'm going to show you how it is now. You can do things like DoorDash, all this to sustain yourself and hold you over. And you'll have all of your time to yourself, to have a business, to go to school and whatever else you need to do for the long run. You see what I'm saying? It's the way the world is now. There are ways. There's more options. Like I told y'all, in Milwaukee, our job market is better than it ever has been. Like I remember A lot of the jobs that's always available now, they was never available in the 90s. Never available in the early 2000s. But they all available now. You can go work at the post office. You can be a mailman. If you pass the background, you could be a mailman. I mean, everything is wide open. Just about everything. So you have to decide, okay, I'm going to tune her out. What do I need to do? What do I need? Now, for the cooperative wife, for the submissive wife, for the wife that's not secretly flirting with guys behind your back or messing with other dudes, then you add her to the plan, to the long run. Okay, what am I gonna do for my wife and kids? But if she ain't acting right, man, you don't even factor her in, because she probably gonna divorce you. And you just say, what am I gonna do for my kids? See, we need to be first. Up sitting and talking about the biggest piece of chicken. Should no kid in your house be getting the biggest piece of chicken? You're the man. You should be getting the biggest piece of chicken. If you ain't, something is out of balance. That ain't even something that should even be discussed. That's automatic. That's how my grandmother was. We couldn't even eat until she made my grandfather's plate. And then let's say we liked the food a lot, which normally we did. She was a great cook. We would try to sneak in the kitchen, and somehow she always caught us. She'd be like, that's Grandma. I'd be eyeing ribs and all type of stuff, like, man. I'd be hoping my grandfather say, because sometimes my grandfather will leave some of it, knowing that we wanted some and he didn't want that much, so he'll leave it. And then we could get to it, and she'll let us get to it. But until she found out how much of it he wanted, we couldn't eat. Nowadays, in today's family, you come home and it's like they doing things without you. They eating things without you. And that's why I say, I had to learn this being out here all day. Like, man, you gotta eat. You gotta drink. Some of these women will be like, well, why you getting yourself? I mean, it's just a constant nag. It's nag fest with the majority of them. Y'all try to act like it's just black women. Man, I could go to Target right now, and I could just spot the rebellious, combative wives walking in front of their husband, body language, look at their face, arms crossed, like, man, are you a little kid? Because marriage ain't for little kids, which is another reason for the high divorce. See, it's crazy because guys can't fail, but women fail all the time. That's that double standard that we talk about in this space, and then we talk about in general. And the fake dudes, like, I've learned, man, what you do when you dealing with other married men, don't talk to them about marriage, because most of them is not going to tell you the truth. And most of them is going to act like they stuff is perfect, and it's not. So you got to let them initiate. Don't ever discuss marriage. Take it up. Take it like a man. Do not discuss your marital problems with any of these guys. Because all that's going to do, y'all have an argument about sports, or you have an argument about this, that. And they'll be like, well, such and such, such and such. And it's going to make you even madder. You ain't going to want to deal with them. So that's why you don't tell them your business. Like, I messed around and told this one dude that my rent was late. What did I do that for? Every argument that we had, He was acting like he just knew my financial status. I'm like, man, don't you know that sometimes people pay their rent late because they choose to? But he judged me the whole time by, here's what happened. So he asked me, man, what's your late fee? Like, how did it go with your late fee? And I slipped up and told him that my rent was late before. But from that point on, like, it's like I just had to really tear off into him because he was always trying to equate everything to that. And you got another thing too. We have to learn how to deal with the emotions of women, but we also have to learn how to make other people adjust to us as well. For instance, if you let's just say you got friends with no kids. They gonna always be like, let's go here, let's go there, let's do this, let's do that. You can't do that. That's not even fair. And trust me, most of them is too selfish anyways. You wasting your time being a guy that has kids, but trying to hang out all the time with somebody who doesn't. For one, their whole persona is going to be built around the fact that they don't have any kids. And eventually y'all going to have conflict. Guaranteed. Because a lot of these guys, it's not all of them, but a lot of them be self-centered and selfish. And they don't understand that you might be enduring trials and tribulations in your life that they have not had to deal with. So I'm not saying don't be friends with these type. I'm saying it's going to be a rough haul for you. But again, we have to learn how to deal with the emotions of a woman. You have to know when to reverse the punishment on her. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? By breaking up sometimes. Like, for instance, I don't care if you not married. If she ain't no virgin and she ain't sick, then y'all should be stabbing and jabbing. Y'all should. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, this, oh, that, oh, that, oh, that. What do you think she gonna do if you marry her? What do you think? I'm going to tell you right now. If you dealing with this and y'all not even married, especially if y'all in y'all 20s, early 30s, it's going to get worse. If she's arguing with you, if she's making excuses not to have sex, it's going to get worse. Wait till she start gaining weight. Wait till she start having kids. Wait till she start working if that's what she do. It's going to get worse, man. Before it gets better. It's not going to get better. Hardly anything gets better when you get married. Guys just tolerate. I'm telling you, I had friends that was straight up Mac type of dudes. And they just tolerate. They just tolerate it, that's all. Now, it's like, I ain't gonna put their business out there because I know some of them be watching my videos. But I will say that some of my friends that I grew up with, that simping got real. They wasn't as much simps when we was younger, but when they hit them 30s and them 40s, that simping got real. This how you know a married simp. If your wife is cheating on you and you take her back, you try to make it work, you're a simp. If she divorces you and you still lifting her up, the only time I can see you is like you say Happy Mother's Day. Like some of these women are good mothers, but they're not good wives. So it's all right to say Happy Mother's Day to the mom of my kids, this, that, and the other. That's what you're supposed to do. But a lot of these guys be letting the kid factor turn them into a simp. That's how their testosterone levels got lowered. So just think about that. Just, you got to learn how to deal with the emotions of these women, man. You think giving her way is going to work? That rarely ever works. She's going to get worse and worse and worse. You think trying to keep the peace and apologizing and you not in the wrong, you should never do that. Only apologize when you are in the wrong. And you should have enough wisdom to know when you're in the wrong, when she's in the wrong. When she's in the wrong, do not apologize. If she gives you silent treatment, don't talk to her until she talks to you. If you don't have to, don't do it. If you have to, be the man and do it. But don't cater to this stuff, man. Y'all making it worse. They'll be at work saying, girl, all I gotta do is stop talking to him. He'll give me whatever I want. Y'all dudes gotta stop giving them that advantage. They'll be teaching other women to do that. You ain't talking, you just ain't talking. I remember I used to be like, always the one to say something first. But then over time, I'm like, she never apologizes. I start changing, man. Start changing. Like when you get older, man, you're going to see things. But it's how you react to the things you see that's going to determine how good or how bad your marriage and your life is. If you try to give her way all the time, good luck, buddy. Happy wife, happy life. That's not biblical. In fact, that's a sin. Because remember, what he tells us, that's the way to go. Everything else is a sin. What did he say? We have rule over them. What did he say? They're there to assist, there to help. So if you got the woman calling the shots, you say something, she undermining you. Dude. Yeah, I try to help y'all, man. I try to help y'all. I was married 24 years on paper. Still am. Because here's another thing you need to understand. You got to stay at home. They're going to try to cook your goose, buddy. You're going to get cooked. So don't be giving in to them emotions, man. Y'all, I think part of the problem with a lot of us guys is we just don't have the wisdom. We don't have the wisdom. Some of it come from playing it safe all the time. Some of it come from you just don't read enough. You don't research enough. You're not observant enough. You don't have the right people around you to tell you and show you. That's where I come in. See, a woman will try to make you believe that it's always your fault and that everything that goes wrong is because of you. That's their emotions. That's what they do. Just like with the whole the goddess thing, I said, man, y'all dudes act like y'all don't know these women is emotional. Like sometimes they gonna do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing. But what they don't realize is they need to get wisdom too. But we'll be back. Stay tuned. We will be back for more videos.